Alright, so I just received my Alpine iLX-407. Figured I'd do an unboxing video since not too many people seem to have gotten these yet. They've just started to finally be shipped. Yeah, so I've never done an unboxing video before, so hopefully it's not too clumsy, but it doesn't seem like there's really much to it. So box get a little bit dented in transit, but I don't think that's going to be too big of a problem. So let's crack her open, see what we got. Alright, so we got a manual. Looks like a little card with a barcode on it. There's a whole bunch of shit in here. It looks like a USB extension cable with the right angle. Might be handy. Pigtail. Another pigtail for video in and video out. CAN IF. I'm thinking that's for the iData link connection. I will be using a Maestro, so I guess I'll probably get to use that. This looks like the main harness. Microphone. A clip, I'm guessing, for the microphone. And some screws. So, alright, so that's easy enough to stuff all this back in the bag. Piece to the side, and yeah, it's got one of these nice bubble bags that I've seen hard drives come in. So, there it is. Looks nice. It's got a little protector on the screen. I guess I'll probably remove that after I finish installing it. It is very thin, which is good because with all those pigtails that it comes with behind it, you're going to need a lot of room. And as far as ports on the back, USB, HDMI in. Okay, that's neat. I guess that's for the pigtail, the video pigtail. That would be for the CAN interface. I guess that's what CAN IF stands for. That would be for the iData link connector. It looks like it doesn't accept the iData link connector by itself. Like you can't plug the iData link, the Maestro harness plug directly into it. It looks like it's different, so you have to use this. Mic, steering wheel remote, Sirius XM, and then this would be the pre-outs. I personally prefer that all the RCAs would be actually on the back of the unit itself, because using all these pigtails is kind of sloppy, if you ask me. But, like I said, fortunately it's got a really short profile, so stuffing all this behind the radio probably will be okay. But, yeah, that's it. Not much else to it. I guess it's time to just install it and see what happens. Alright, so here it is installed in my 2012 Ford Fusion. Install is, pretty, there's nothing eventful there. I'll show you. Here's the boot up time.
alone for 15
So
years.
So that's not too bad. As far as the radio itself, the interface, it's pretty quick. It's very responsive. No lag, no stuttering. The touchscreen itself seems pretty responsive because I believe it is a capacitive and not a resistive screen. So, feels like your phone. One thing that's nice about the interface is that you can customize each of these tiles, similar to the way you would customize your apps on your phone, where you could move them around. Likewise, you could rearrange them into different pages, or say if there's certain things you don't use, you can eliminate them. Like I remove the HDMI and Android Auto because I don't have an Android phone. That is from the factory sync module, which is still there. And you can add or remove things, as you know. So I keep pretty much everything that I use most on the front page. The tuner, it is a digital tuner. It's an HD tuner, which is nice because not only does it sound better, but a lot of stations have substations that are only accessible with an HD tuner. So, and you also get sometimes album art, or sometimes it's just a graphic that the radio station provides. So that's the tuner. There's something that's really nice. So since this is an iDataLink radio, and it works with an iDataLink Maestro to interface with the rest of the vehicle systems, that is what allows the steering wheel controls to work, and they're in iDataLink, they're mappable for whatever function that you want them to perform. But in addition, this is the original radio display for the factory radio, and it allows it to repurpose that display and display the radio station, song title, so on and so forth, which is really nice. Only caveat to that is that it doesn't work with Apple CarPlay. In fact, I'll just plug my phone in now. When you're using CarPlay, okay, I just plugged my phone in. So when you use CarPlay, it'll just say Apple CarPlay. It won't, unfortunately, if you're playing music through CarPlay, it will not say the track. That's a limitation. I'm pretty sure that's a limitation of CarPlay itself and not the radio. I'm pretty sure there's just no way for... there's no API for the radio to actually get that track information from CarPlay. So it does sometimes, while you're in the middle of playing CarPlay, the display will change to the previous radio station you were listening to, even if you're not listening to the radio at that moment. I'm guessing that's a bug of some sort, but it seems to just do it randomly. CarPlay works fine. I mean, it works the same as it does on pretty much any other CarPlay radio. I mean, if you're familiar with CarPlay, you just know how it works. There's no difference there. I will say that the colors seem a little washed out, and I don't know if it's the viewing angle, but even if I kind of look further, look at it straight on, they just seem a little bit washed out. It's a little more difficult to read the maps, but I'm not sure why that is. But my other radio, which is a cheap Toto radio from Amazon, and to be honest, the colors are a lot more vivid, and there's more contrast in CarPlay. So I'm not sure what the story is there. As far as more iDataLink features, you could see tire pressure. There's also gauges that I guess it reads all the information through the OBD2 port, and you can set different different things that you might want it to display. I think it has some more things going to it, and there would be more like climate control if the vehicle supported it, and probably other factory features that would be up here. But for this vehicle, it's just gauges and like tire pressure. Or if I open a door, you can see the doors open. So that's really nice. Settings. So there's a lot of settings. Mostly I was interested in, obviously, the audio settings. So here's something I find disappointing. There's only a 5-band graphic equalizer. It's a little surprising. Even lower end head units, usually give you more bands than that. I wish there was more controls, at least in the lower frequencies, for like 50 hertz, 80 hertz, 120 hertz. At the bottom, like the lowest frequency you can control is 250. I mean, obviously there's a slope, so it is also controlling 80 hertz, below that as well. But I'd prefer more granularity. So I was, especially for the price, this is a $450 head unit. 5-band graphic equalizer, I think they could probably do better than that. You do at least get presets, and there is, every head unit has these. I usually don't use them. There's also an extra bass and treble controls on top of the equalizer. I don't really see the point of that if you have an equalizer, but one bug that I did notice is the subwoofer level control. One, it doesn't seem to do anything. I don't hear any difference, and if you exit out and then go back, you'll see it's at 0 again. I honestly think that this control just does not work at all, and that it's a bug of some sort. I'm going to probably contact their support and see what they say. Hopefully there'll be like a firmware update or something to solve that. It has high-pass crossovers for the front and rear channels, and a low-pass for the sub. And you can even visually see you can actually select the frequency and the slope, and you can kind of get like a visual representation of it. You can also reduce the level of those channels. It does have time correction. I haven't had the chance to really mess with that yet. You can actually turn off the rear speaker and the subwoofers if you wanted to. Media expander, I don't really use those things. I haven't really tried it, so I can't tell you if it works good or not. And the camera also, I don't have a front camera, but the rear camera is connected, and you can actually get a guide and you can actually adjust it. I generally prefer to use the guide off. I do actually have the camera connected to constant power, so I'm able to just turn it on pretty much whenever I feel like, and not have to, where normally if it's powered off of the reverse light, you would have to, it would only work while you're in reverse. So this time I wired it to constant power so I can use it. This car has really bad rear visibility in general, so I figured it might be handy sometimes to be able to just turn on the rear camera and get a better idea of what's going on behind me. It does have a microphone that it comes with. I put it here. Probably not, there probably would have been a cleaner place to put it, but at least it should probably pick up my voice really well. And it's not too intrusive, so. And wiring it was super easy because it's literally just like 6 inches away, so. There is one USB port on the back of the unit, only one. It does come with a USB cable, as I showed in the unboxing. I bought this panel mount USB port. It fit right where the cigarette lighter went, so it was super easy to install. That's where I plug my phone into. You can also plug in a flash drive. I downloaded a few YouTube-friendly audio tracks to at least to play for the video, for this video, so I won't step on anybody's toes and get like a copyright strike or whatever. I'm not really sure how that works, but I figured just play it safe. So this is pretty much what it does in the USB mode. So there is a shortcut to the sound settings, which all it does is just bring you to the full menu. It would have been nice if there was a shortcut that just had kind of like a bare minimum of controls, say like subwoofer level control and equalizer for quick adjustments. Unfortunately, there isn't, and that shortcut button isn't even available in CarPlay. So in order for you to, when you're listening to CarPlay, if you wanted to make like a quick sound adjustment, you actually have to go from here to the home screen, settings, sound, and then mess with it, which is kind of difficult to do while driving. I wish there was a better way to make like common quick adjustments without too many steps, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. It does have video. I do have an anime, like MP4 on there. It doesn't do MKVs, which is surprising because MKV has been pretty much a standard now for a long time. I know the manual said it does MOV, WMV, and MP4s, I believe. And also the flash drive has to be formatted for FAT32. It can't be EXFAT. So that's just something to take into consideration. I'm not too worried about it, just simply because I'm probably not going to be playing much off of a USB drive. So it's but it's nice to know that it's there. You apparently also can you can add photos to it. I think for the purpose of the background wallpaper. I haven't really played with that yet. I think it's like one of those features that like head unit manufacturers put in that nobody ever actually uses. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the iLX-407. It's fine. Like it's fine. I'm a little disappointed with the display. I feel like it just looks a little washed out to me, and I wish that there was a little easier access to the audio controls, and the fact that the subwoofer control doesn't work at all I find to be a little disappointing. I'm certain that is something that could be corrected via a firmware update, and the 5-band equalizer is not such a great thing either. But other than that, it's actually pretty decent. It's, I guess, probably one of the cheaper units that do come with iData-Link and an HD radio tuner. So, oh, and one other thing that's pretty cool. This is another iData-Link feature. The clock, which I assume, I guess, with any iData-Link radio, this is how it would work, but the factory clock, I was wondering after I install an aftermarket head unit, how do you set the factory clock, because that's normally done through the radio. And it actually works through here. When you set the clock on the head unit, it changes it. I thought that was really cool. So, anyway, yeah, so it's a pretty decent radio. Some slight disappointments, but nothing that terrible. If you can get one, I say go for it. I'm actually really surprised that I got this one, because they were back ordered everywhere, and I just got lucky enough to find a place that had just gotten them in, and they hadn't even updated their website yet. So, but yeah, that's the review. Leave it in the comments if you have any questions.